All right, so my question for you, what is your name?
Jeff Birchler.
Thank you, Jeff. My name's Sarah, and we're going to interview you a little today. Thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us. Okay, so a couple questions. Well, I want to first talk about who you are, okay? Get grounded with you a little bit here. What originally pulled you into the local business community?
So one of the answers that I like to tell people when they ask me something like that, so I'm a retired science teacher. And the best way I can say what I'm doing right now, it's like a legal version of Breaking Bad. If you want to learn some science and math, get into brewing. There's a tremendous amount of chemistry, math, and biology that goes into the brewing process. But I got started in this from actually even before teaching. I was a bartender in my college days and enjoyed the interaction with the people at the bar. In fact, one of our architects is somebody that I got to know a very long time ago, and I've stayed in touch with some of the people. Some of our regulars here are people that I knew from back in those early days of doing some work at a bar on the square.
Fantastic, I love it. Yeah, definitely sounds like brewing would be a legal version of that, Breaking Bad.
Absolutely.
Okay, so since we're at a Business and Brews events, and this is all about crafted connections, what does a good connection actually mean to you?
No, that's a good question. So I told you I was a retired teacher, and as a retired science teacher, I was able to attend some different nationwide conferences. I used to attend those conferences and collect all sorts of handouts and things like that. And then I soon realized that the best thing that I could collect at conferences like that were the people that I met, the ability to network. Because most people are pretty eager and willing to share some of their experiences, things they did right, things they did wrong. So one of the things that we learned early on in the brewery business is having those conversations with people that have opened up a brewery before and what kind of suggestions that would they have. And everybody was very forthcoming in that experience. They shared with us, again, things that they would do again, things they wish they would have done different. And so we've tried to return that favor. If somebody came up to me and said, hey, I want to open up a brewery, I would tell them about the things that we learned along the way, which is a tremendous amount, as you might expect.
Excellent. Yes, that's very good advice. All right, so how you show up in the community, we heard a little bit earlier about that, and I wanted to ask for a little bit more clarity on that in regards to how do you approach meeting new people without it feeling transactional?
Yeah, that's a good question, I think, in that it's been a very interesting experience. We've been open about 4 years. We've met a tremendous number of new people. And in those meetings, the feeling here is very genuine. It feels like people just want to get to know you a little bit better and not have a particular agenda in mind. It's more about a sense of community than anything else. So we have people different religious backgrounds, different political backgrounds that sit down together, share a drink, and get to know each other better. And I think that's what we need more of within our community. So building that sense of place, that ability to exchange ideas, to realize that you can disagree with someone and still be friends with them. Some of my best friends here are things we might disagree completely on, but it's still a neat relationship. And so just taking that approach, it's not about trying to take advantage of someone, it's just getting to know your fellow citizens better.
I love that, yes. When the community happens, good things happen, right?
That's a great way to put it. Yes.
Exactly. So how has being part of the local networking scene changed how you think about your business?
Yes, so being part of the local networking scene, we've got to know so many different people. So first of all, as a retired teacher, one of the best things, one of my favorite things is working with prior students. So we've had students that were engineers and architects and bankers and attorneys that have been able to help us out. So reconnecting with the students has been a cool experience. But also networking with the people locally. We want to promote those local businesses. And that's something that we're able to do here. We host different events pushing the local businesses. if we can keep that money local, then that's better for all of us.
Oh yes, I love that too. And supporting each other makes a difference. And Springfield's really good for that. Battlefield sounds like they are as well.
Yes, absolutely they are. And even within the brewery industry, everybody wants everyone else to succeed. I mean, yes, you want to make the best beer out there, but I'm hoping all the other breweries do well. Just like
I love that. I love that. All right, so we've got 2 more questions. This next one here says, what kind of connections are you hoping to build more of this year?
More connections. So I think we want to continue to build that community presence and build that networking opportunity, much like what just happened here tonight. So you have these different businesses gathering together and supporting each other and learning from each other. We would like to do more of that. I think it's important to try to keep that focus local and build those networks. One of the things that we've been pleasantly surprised is the support that we get from the local community. We have regulars that are incredibly loyal here. We wouldn't be where we are today without the support of our regulars. So building some more of those connections and then giving back to the community, I think, is important. We host a variety of different fundraisers here. We want to continue to explore that.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad we can be here for that. So hopefully we can help you go further on with that as well. All right, my last question for you is, what advice would you give someone attending their first networking event?
Oh gosh, this goes back to an earlier answer. When you're first networking, you want to get to know as many people as you can. I do think people are genuinely helpful, even if you're trying to do something in that same area of business. People are ready to share what they've learned from their experiences. Again, things that they've done right, things they wish they would have done different. Sharing some good advice, and I think it's genuine. I really want all people to do well. It's that idea, rising tide lifts all boats. Regardless of what business you're in, let's all work together to improve the local economy.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Jeff. It's been a pleasure interviewing you, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon.
Likewise.
Thank you.